Hi, Michelle here. Welcome to my video editing station, otherwise known as my couch. I wanted to go ahead and introduce today's video. This is a video of my husband installing the lights in one of my Detolf cabinets. I wanted to go ahead and film him because he does such a good job in cable management and in hiding the cables and making them look like part of the structure of the cabinet. If you liked today's video, I really hope you consider giving it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see other planty content from me, please consider subscribing to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And otherwise, let's go ahead and get started with the video. Thanks. To start, my husband replaces the shelves after I clean the glass. The first thing he does is feed the power cable through the hole in the bottom of the Detolf. You have to tip the cabinet forward because the bottom sits flat on the floor. He's stretching the cable along the path he wants it to go, then plugs it into the light so he can test the power to it later. He loosely attaches the light bar to the wire shelf with one zip tie on each end. He doesn't tighten them all the way at first because he was taught the old carpenter's adage, measure twice, cut once. And so now he will literally measure the distance that each side is from the edge of the shelf before tightening the cables all the way. Now he begins to attach the cord in the corner of the cabinet using zip ties. This is a good spot because it will anchor the cord for later steps. He leaves the ties a little loose for final adjustments. He will start zip tying the cable from the underside of the shelf where it meets the light bar towards the back corner. Then he'll start tying the cable down the support rod in the back corner, beginning right below the original zip tie. He starts placing the ties where the shelf sits and works his way down, placing a tie in the middle and then one at the base of the cabinet. He does some fine tuning to the position of the cable and then fully tightens all the zip ties. This completes the lighting cable installation for the bottom section. He's going to plug in the cable from the light on the bottom shelf and attempt to feed it to the next shelf. He quickly realizes it's far too short. We discuss getting a longer cable from the box of other Barrina light supplies we have from the rest of our plant light installations. When he has the two longer cables, he inserts the cable's plug into the light. This completes what's called the daisy chain setup. In order to test the lights and make sure they work, he feeds the power cable through a hole in the bottom of the Detolf and plugs it into the smart outlet. The light works when tested, so he begins positioning the cable where he wants to best hide it. He is starting to tie down the cable in the same manner as the above shelf. He is first anchoring the cable in the back corner of the cabinet where the wire shelf and the support rod meet. Once secured, he feeds the cable up through the next shelf above. He will fully secure this next cable on both shelves at once this time, which makes cable management a little trickier on this shelf. He plugs the other side of the cable into the third light and tests it to make sure it works. Once he is satisfied that the installation so far is working properly, he begins to attach the light to the underside of the third shelf with the zip ties. As with the rest of the work, he will leave it loose until all of the cabling is in place. He's beginning to attach the cord to the underside of the lowest shelf. It's a pretty tight space to fit the zip ties through. He places two zip ties to secure the cable to the shelf and then starts attaching the cable to the support rod. He spends some time getting the cord flat and straight, so at the end it will look like part of the support rod. My husband jumped ahead of himself a little bit at this point. He is attaching the cable running from the light on the underside of the second shelf first. He uses two zip ties, one at the point where the cable plugs into the light, and one at the point where the shelf meets the back support rod. It appears that he thinks the cable is slack or a bit visible, so he also places a zip tie around the cable at the center point between the two other ties. After finishing the lights on the second shelf, He follows the cable down to the lights on the first shelf. He's feeding the cable down between the shelves as tightly as he can. It's kind of hard to see, but he's now wrapping the cable in a figure 8. This allows him to gather the excess cable in a small bundle and zip tie it very inconspicuously. The figure 8 allows the cord to be compressed into a small bundle without putting excess pressure onto any section. He secures the bundle with a zip tie in the middle of the figure 8. You will then see that he spends a lengthy period of time adjusting the loops before zip tying them in place. After working on the excess cord, he moves upward and zip ties the cord to the support rod, moving from the bottom upwards so as to keep the cord tight. A few last minute adjustments and this video will be complete. He is adjusting the loops and making sure there is enough space for the cord to freely loop around, avoiding electrical hazard. At the end of this video, I want to take a second to thank all of you for watching my videos as I start this channel. I record these videos as a way to join my creative and technical sides, and it's a bonus to be able to talk about my plants as part of it. So thank you, and until next time, bye!